Good morning and a very happy Sunday to you. I hope that you're having a great day no matter where you are. Today is Sunny Sunday. Sunny Sunday is a series on my channel where I just sit down and I talk with you guys about my favorite topic, Jesus. Today I have a very personal and remarkable story to share with you about an encounter with an angel. If you're new here, my name is Jenny and I make videos like this every single week. So let's jump into the most incredible story ever. My husband Ken had an encounter with an angel. And this is such a crazy topic to talk about because not a lot of people do. But here's the story. My husband is not a super spiritual person, okay? He loves Jesus. He's been a Christian his whole life. He's been raised in the church, all those things, but he's not super spiritual. And he's very, very, very modest and kind of introverted. So this story, I know he couldn't dream up, okay? Let me give you a little bit of backstory, okay? My husband Ken, we've been married almost 20 years, and he has served the United States military for that entire time, almost 20 years of service. He is an incredible leader, someone who cares about people, has integrity. He's one of these people, he's what you want the military to be. He's amazing. He was deployed in the fall of 2018, and he went to a lot of very dangerous, sketchy areas. Now, 2 years prior to deployment, for the entire 2 years, okay, he is not a like clock watcher. He doesn't check the time often. He's not constantly worrying about what's going on. He's just one of these people that's involved in whatever he's doing. But every single time he looked at the clock, anytime he had to timestamp date something, it was always either 1:11 or 11:11. And so after 2 years of that, you kind of get these question marks that float around in your mind. So he didn't really think like too much of it. He was just like, every time I look at the clock, it's 1:11 or 11:11 every single time. So just keep that filed away for a minute, okay? So he arrives to his home base that he's going to it's going to be the hub for him for the next 8 months. And he's getting ready to gear up to go visit another country. In 20 years of service, I don't know that I've ever seen my husband have as much hesitation on going to visit a certain country than I saw and heard him talk about when he was addressing Afghanistan. It was just not on his top places to visit, but he knew he had to go. A couple weeks before he is scheduled to go to Afghanistan, he has a dream where his entire team of people fly in and land, and incoming rockets, everyone dies essentially. Not what you want to have happen or even dream about happening right before you go somewhere. Obviously tensions are high. He doesn't, he's on high alert when he's traveling into Afghanistan, and he's just it's not sitting well with him. Now this is a big deal because he's not a hypersensitive person. He's been in the service for years and years and years at this point. He's in a position of leadership, and it's just not something that happens all the time. So the fact that this is sitting weird with him is already a sign that something is coming. They leave their home base, they arrive in Afghanistan, and he's escorted to his quarters. He gets into his room, gets settled as much as you can get settled, and is trying to lay down to sleep. And he cannot sleep. Something is just very uneasy about him, and he's just having a hard time tossing and turning around and just thinking over scenarios and remembering the dream he had, right? All these things are running through his mind, and it's just a really, really, really difficult time. So in that moment, he decides to pray, and he asks God to protect him. He asks God to give him peace so that he can sleep. He asks God just to relieve him of the burdens that he's carrying so that he can sleep peacefully. Just then, oh gosh, I'm gonna get goosebumps talking about this. The way that his bed is, there's a wall, and his head is here, laying against the wall, and his body is laying this way, and he has his head turned, okay? He's calling. He knows when I'm talking about him. So he says, I finished praying, and then all of a sudden, an angel came upon me. And I said, "What?" He said, "An angel came upon me." It was there. I felt it there. And he's laying, and his head is turned. And apparently the angel's head is right here in front of his face with its body going through the wall. And he said it's transparent. And I just felt at peace, because when my husband sleeps, he has to have blankets on him. Even if it's 100 degrees, he has to have like the weight of a blanket to feel secure. It just helps him sleep. And he said the wings of this angel were coming from, because remember, he's here on the wall, his head is here, his body's here, and the angel's body is actually this way, coming through the wall. And its head is here facing his face. And he said that it had its wings, and its wings were completely stretched out and wrapped around my entire body. So much so to where I could feel the weight of them on my back. And he's like, I just felt at peace and I was able to sleep. And I am like, at this point, literally freaking out, because how, one, cool is that you got to encounter an angel, but two, I am like investigative. I want to know all the things. Is it a boy? Is it a girl? Were there eyelashes? Did it have a nose? Like, was there a smell? Did you like, but he's just in shock that this is even happening. And this is so incredible. So the angel visits him and he's able to sleep. Oh, I just get goosebumps every time I tell the story. The next morning, he wakes up and is getting ready for work and putting his uniform on and things like that, and hears incoming. Now, when you're at a high target area in a very hot country, you don't want to hear those words, but in Afghanistan, it's something that happens on the daily. So he hears incoming and is like, oh my gosh. So of course he drops all of his stuff, he gets underneath his bed, and he's literally under there with his hands wrapped around his neck on the floor, saying, God, I don't want to die like this. It can't end like this, right? And he said that he could feel the percussion of the rockets on the floor, and every time they hit, it was getting closer and closer to him. So the floor was moving harder and it was getting louder, and he was just talking to God like, it can't end like this. Like, it can't end like this. I don't want to die here. I don't want to die this way. Please protect me, all of these things. And so he's there, what's like 15 minutes. It must have felt like hours to him. And he got the all clear. So, okay, great. I mean, I can't imagine just like switching mindsets from I could die right now to, okay, well, let's go get done what needs to get done. Like, the military are some of the strongest people ever. So he gets up, he gathers his things, he goes down the hall for something. I can't remember if he was brushing his teeth or something, and comes back, and I think he's locked out of his room at this point. But for whatever reason, he looks up at his room number, and it's 111. And he literally just buckles and hysterically cries and realizes that God is there with him. God was protecting him. God was reassuring him that he had him. Man, he had him, and there was nothing that was going to take him away. I was just so blown away by that. Like, you got to encounter an angel, and God had been working on you 2 years prior to this moment, like, to let you know that he's there with you. That's just insane to me. So as you can imagine, he had this whole new confidence that he could walk through basically anything and know that God had him. And obviously, I mean, he's telling us, and I'm recounting this to my children who are having terrible dreams, and they're dealing with their own anxieties and things. And it offered us like this whole other sense of peace that we wouldn't have had that not happened. So I just want to encourage you guys today. Sometimes God works on you for years. You don't know why he's allowing you to go through certain things or see certain things. And there may come a time when it clicks for you. And for my husband, it was this moment. But maybe it's something different for you. Maybe you're going through a trial, or maybe you've just noticed something and you're not really sure what it means right now. Maybe there'll come a time where God clues you into his plan. Maybe he won't. We just got to trust him. That's the whole point, is we got to trust him. So one, I want you guys to know that angels are real. Angels are real. And it was so crazy when he was describing the angel to me, because I thought angels were like these warriors with these, and they're fighting your battles and all this, like, you know, our human minds. Two, on the other hand of that, like little kids think of angels that just sit around on clouds. And so it's really hard to tell what's what. But in Revelation, it talks about angels, right? These winged beings that are hiding their face, and you know, they're there in the throne room, and God is in an unapproachable light, right? And so like I just can't, I'm flabbergasted, you guys. But angels are real. They're real, and they will come. So weird, so crazy, so Jesus. One of the reasons that I decided to share this story with you is that it crosses over with a story that I'll have to tell you next week. But I will say that every time I see the clock and it's 1:11 or 11:11, I think about it and I'm like, God's trying to talk to me, or he just wants me to know he's with me. So tune in next week for my crossover story. All right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this story today. I hope that you're encouraged, no matter what you're going through, that God is with you. Even if you don't see him, even if you don't feel him, he is with you. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up here. I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.